Of course, joining the conversation this evening is Jamiu Olawumi. He is a former special advisor to ex-Governor Oyetola. He joins from Osun State. I also have Olajide Esan, AAC Osun State governorship candidate, who is also joining virtually from Osun State. Gentlemen, thank you for your time.
Good evening. Thank you.
All right. Let me first start with, of course, what is the biggest news right now in Osun State, and that is the freezing of state accounts, of course, as prompted by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission. What we also understand is that some arrests have been made in this regard, and that the state is going to challenge this in court. Let me start with you, Mr. Olawumi. I mean, how do you react with what we are seeing, particularly with this freezing of account? The government has said that there's no wrongdoing here, and this is largely a political witch hunt. Do you think this is the case?
Absolutely. And thank you, viewers and Dapo. I'd like to start by saying that your prologue was about specific and also general. The specific thing is the letter, the communication between the bank, First Bank, and the EFCC. The general is that you learned that some officers have been arrested. That's a ruse. That didn't happen. I again want to say that the EFCC letter to the First Bank, the account is the recurrent accounts of the government that is used to service in areas of salaries and emoluments, pensions, and security and health matters. So it is not just an ordinary account, it's a very sensitive account. And I also like to put it across that the EFCC has power to monitor, to investigate accounts. But there's no section of the law, both the money laundering law and the EFCC Act, that says EFCC can freeze account of anybody, corporate or government, without obtaining a court order. What happened this morning, there was no court order to that effect. Because the letter signed by one Mrs. Is a chartered accountant. The name I will supply them because of this Mrs. Sadat back in O2. The letter did not refer to any court injunction that ordered the freezing of the account. So we are having, in this case, a federal government agency being abused in its responsibility. There's nothing urgent in that account that will lead to EFCC freezing an account without obtaining a court order. We have seen a lot of investigations. We have seen that of Desiani. We have seen that of Godwin Emefiele. We have seen all other individuals and corporate bodies that got a particular account frozen, but that was done after obtaining a court injunction to that effect. So it is now, without missing words, it is an aberration, victimization, and oppressive tendencies by some courts using federal agencies to intimidate Osun government. I mean, it's interesting. I want to also suspect why they are doing that. The issue in question here has to do with relief package to workers occasioned by the inconsistent prices of fuel in the country, which has made most civil servant salaries worthless. The take home that could not take them home. If the government adds to their salary, you will not say that government is not welfareist enough. And it's a burden to the APC because non-payment of salaries, emoluments, half payments, half salary payments characterize their 12 years of service here. So we will see that it's very sore, it's a big sore to them in the course of this electioneering.
I wanted to butt in here. Please hold on, sir. You said that what you suspect has been a part of the reasons why maybe this action was taken is because of a relief package to public workers in the state. I'd like you to put more, will I call it, explanation to that. What do you mean by relief package? Is this are you talking about an increase in salary, or maybe some sort of palliative organized by the state during this period to help cushion, according to you, the effect of the harsh economy?
Don't forget that at the wake of fuel prices hike and new salary increment, there was wage award. There was wage award. And the wage award was negotiated by the Nigerian Labour Congress and TUC. So the negotiation for wage award here have been on ever since the Iran-US war. So it is when the government has the capacity to fulfill all those requests, to answer to the request, that government will do it. So it is nothing extraordinary.
All right, thank you very much. We'll go on our first break. When we return, I'll be going straight to Olajide Esan. He's the AAC Osun State governorship candidate. We'll also hear his take on this matter and, of course, the political atmosphere in Osun State ahead of the governorship poll. Stay with us. We'll be right back. All right, you're still watching Politics HQ on News Central Television. I still have my guest at this time, Jamiu Olawumi, is, of course, a former special advisor to ex-Governor Oyetola. He joins virtually from Osun State. I also have Olajide Esan. He's an AAC Osun State governorship candidate. Gentlemen, thank you for staying with me. Mr. Esan, thank you for joining. Let me come straight to you. I mean, you are a governorship candidate, and I would ask you multi-pronged questions here. Number one, your reaction to, of course, the freezing of the government account, even though you are an opposition in the state, what's your take on it, and the concerns around security. Are you also affected?
First of all, the one that has to do with the account, what I can say is that it's abuse of power, because I don't think there should be any basis for taking such an action. But you know, we're in Nigeria, anything goes, and you know, it's not something strange based on how we run politics in Nigeria. So, and to me, although if you are and on the side of the current governor, if you're also going to be giving palliatives, why didn't you do that months ago? Why is it now? So to me, it could be a kind of strategies to, you know, to induce voters. So, but to me, there shouldn't be any basis for that.
All right. How about the issue of largely security concerns in the state? I mean,
yeah.
Okay. Let's hear you.
Yeah, there has been so much issue of security concern in Osun State because of the fact that the same characters in political offices are the same people who are taking advantage of the same youth they've made jobless. And the thing is, in a situation whereby we have a growing population of jobless youth, it will become much more easier for politicians to take advantage of the joblessness among the youth.
Why do you think
to make sure that?
Why do you think the youths in Osun State, according to you, are jobless, or some of the youths are jobless?
Yeah, definitely. Because the thing is that you don't, if you are resourceful and you know how much you're going to make in a day, you may not even have time to be going about with politicians, not to talk of being used for political violence. And the parties who represent who make the most noise in Osun State are the same parties who are committing these political violences, and especially the one that has to do with motor parks, because they know that, I mean, they want to make sure they have access to, you know, election materials, because once they are in charge of the vehicles and the logistics, it will become much more easier for them to have access to election materials, especially the sensitive ones.
All right. Before I move away from you, I mean, this election has about 14 candidates vying for office. You're one of them. But on the front burner, it only seems to be a battle between two, right? Even though there are 14 in the race. I don't want to mention names, but I'm sure you know them. So I want to ask you, I mean, the rest of you, you are one of them too, the opposition in the state. What's going on? Why are you not, why does it appear that as if many of the other candidates are in the shadows? What is the challenge?
The thing is that, first of all, we'll start by saying that APC and PDP in accord uniform in Osun State today play important role in bringing Nigeria to its nail. And these are the ones who I call noisemakers. And if we want to consider it from the point of the plans we have for the state, they are the least, because they rely so much on the the regular money politics and the regular electoral frauds. So to me, most of other candidates, most of them are working with these current political parties.
Are you saying that some other candidates are just an appendage of the leading parties in the state?
Definitely, they are more of extension of these same political parties.
Do you have this on good authority? Can you prove this?
Definitely, it's obvious. It's obvious. Even I've even seen one of the candidates who says he doesn't even vote for himself.
The candidate running in this election will not vote for himself. You said the candidate said he won't vote for it. So who is he voting for?
Definitely.
So who is he voting for?
The thing is that they represent the same political ideology that has brought Nigeria to its nail. And if you actually want this nation to work, we have to look far away from these political parties. And that is why we are here today, because they say the definition of insanity is to be doing the same thing and be expecting a different result. And because those who messed up yesterday and today, who are still messing up today, cannot be promising you of a better tomorrow. That is why we Nigerians are coming through African Action Congress, AAC, to take Nigeria back from the regular ruiners who pretend to be leaders.
All right, thank you very much. Let me leave you for a moment and go back to Mr. Olawumi. Mr. Olawumi, maybe you'd like to react to some of the things that Mr. Esan said, but let's talk about security in Osun State right now. I mean, during the introduction of this program, as part of our headlines, we did play an excerpt of where David Adeleke, also known as Davido, did hold a press conference suing for peace across the state. And the security issue has been, at the front burner of conversations. There's a new CP, and I know that even on this platform, your campaign council, your team, has raised reservations as regards this police system in Osun State. Are you still on that, even though you have a new CP that would be in charge of this election?
Thank you very much. Thank Mr. Esan for his comment. But that remark is not what does not represent the entire thing. Wage award started by the federal government, and the state governments also keyed into wage awards. Wage awards could be strategical because it should have a purpose. If you have crisis that has not been resolved, like economic crisis occasioned by the US and Iran war in the Middle East, you also want to say that everybody knows that about 2 weeks ago, the price of per liter pump price of fuel also went up. So it requires a process to assist and to put relief in the hardworking labor force that also believed in maintaining sanity here in Osun State. Otherwise, why not their cooperation? The hijack of local government accounts by the Oyetola and his cow is terrible. For 17 months, local government fund are live with them, and they have never paid any worker known to law of local government staff, primary care staff, teachers from primary 1 to GS3, that cost the government 6.7 billion naira every month for 17 months now, and we are still counting. So if the workers request for the arrears of their wage award. I think it's same government who assist and reason along to give them their due. That's aside. We're talking about security here. The election commissioner, we have received it in government house. It has visited Mr. Governor Ademola Adeleke. But there's a substantive commissioner that had watched aside where we experience all the turmoil, the trauma, and the harassment Osun State people have suffered before it's posted there. It's election commissioner. The substantive commissioner is also superior officer to the new person. And you know, in commands, in garrison system, the command has hierarchy. So it's not that it's leaving the state, it's sitting back, taking a back seat in the same office, back seat in the same room, while an inferior officer is there. They ought to have posted somebody who's superior to the current commissioner to actually exude the confidence of Osun State people. That is left to the police. But to Osun State people who have been repressed, oppressed, they have chosen to keep quiet.
All right.
And talk to the ballot. And that's what happened on August 15.
All right. I'm going to go back to the issue of the Osun State government account being frozen by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission. And the reason why I'm going back to it is because about 10 minutes ago, the EFCC on its official handle on Instagram just posted something on it now. That's about 10 minutes ago. And the caption is, why EFCC froze Osun State's government account? Permit me to read, some of it. Maybe you can respond. It said the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, is compelled to publicly address issues pertaining to its preventive moves in freezing the bank account of the Osun State government without prejudice to the imminent governorship election in the state. The commission has been busy investigating the Osun State government since March 2026 regarding alleged fraudulent handling of ecology funds, intervention funds, and Federal Account Allocation Committee, FAC account, to the tune of 11 billion naira only. To this end, some officials of the state government, especially the Accountant General of the state, have had interview sessions with investigators of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission. Permit me to just read one more paragraph and then I'll ask your response on this. These ongoing investigations of the state government would not have warranted any placement of post-note debit order on its account for the precipitate and unwarranted movement of funds from accounts to different suspicious accounts. Since August 2nd, 2026, the Commission noticed huge transfer of funds into different corporate entities and had to swiftly halt the trend by freezing the accounts from which such heavy funds are being moved. But I've put the graphics on screen, but this just dropped. And I'd like you to respond to it. So please, what do you have to say, particularly when it said huge transfers, were being moved, suspicious transfers were being moved into different corporate entities and had to be swiftly altered, to prevent further, according to them, for reasons best known to them. But I'd like you to react on that.
Thank you very much. I think it further underscores the illegality and irresponsibility of a highly respected and reputable federal government agency. EFCC is never a court. By the time EFCC, you need this claim. Why don't they state this before a court judge to obtain the power to freeze the account? EFCC does not have power to freeze any account without obtaining the permit from the court. They can't wish that away. It's an embarrassment to the federal government. It's an embarrassment to Nigerians. It's an embarrassment to Osun State. Whatever huge amount they have noticed that are being moved,
they said about 11 billion. They said about 11 billion naira.
It does not matter whether it's 11 trillion. They should go to the court to obtain the warrant to freeze the account. That's what we are talking about here. It's an illegality and it's irresponsibility.
All right, gentlemen, I'd like to say a big thank you for your time on the program this evening. It's been great having you. Jamiu Olawumi is the former special advisor to ex-Governor Oyetola. It's been great having you, sir. And also Olajide Esan, the AAC Osun State Governorship candidate. Yeah. Once again, thank you for your time, gentlemen.